Hello there. Right, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the mathematics of Dutching. Now, as you can see here, we've got our results spreadsheet that I've downloaded from the site, and today is the 11th of August 2010. Now, I've done a little bit of analysis, which you can see here down the bottom, and this analysis has been done on the 5% of the bank staking system that we advise you to use. Now, in the 5 or so months that this system has been operating, it's generated a total win of £9,218.12 and a total loss of £5,880.78. Now, when you know these two pieces of information, you can work out something called your profit factor. Now, that is simply your total winnings divided by your total losses, which gives you your profit factor. In this case, it's 1.56. Now, your profit factor ideally should be 1.5 and over. If you have a result of 1.0, then that basically means that the system that you're analysing is breaking even, and it's not making a profit and it's not losing any money. So the bigger this figure, the better. And it was about a month ago that we had a profit factor of about 2.6. So our system tends to fluctuate between about 1.5 and 2.6, round about there. So we're always where we need to be on the profit factor. Now, the other metric that you can use to determine whether a system is good or not is quite simple. You just work out your total bets and the total wins and the total losers that you have, and then from that you can actually work out your strike rate. So on these results here that we've been having, we actually have a 78.57% strike rate overall, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you take that figure, the strike rate, and you couple it with a positive profit factor, then you know that this system is going to be making money overall. And if you're not a very sort of mathematic type person, just look at the profits. You can see how the money has been going up and up and up and up. That's the best one of the simplest ways to measure a system. Now, if you have a look at the daily selection email that you'll be getting each day, there's a little bit down the bottom about what type of return that you should be looking for. Now, when you get your daily selection email, you're going to be going on to Betfair and putting the live odds into the Dutching calculator. Now, assuming that you put in £100 down, what you're looking for is a return of about 33.33, basically a third of your stake you're looking to be getting back in order to make it worthwhile. And the absolute bare minimum that you want back is 25% of your stake. And as long as you stick to this, then you're going to be making money. The times that you are making money, and sometimes we have runs of like 10 winners on the run, and in those times you're building up your bank, and when we do have a loser, that money you've been building up goes to pay for some of the losers. So it's always keeping you in an upwards pointing direction, which is exactly what we want. Now, if you were to just hypothetically assume that you're getting a £25 return off each Dutch that you make, putting £100 down, then what that basically means is if you come across a loser, you've lost £100, so it would take you 4 bets to get back to break even. Whereas if your own personal rule was 33.33% return, basically a third, then if you have a loser and lose £100, it's going to take you 3 bets to get back to break even. But it's actually less than that, because we're doing 5% of the bank, and it's a roll-in sort of a compounded profit situation. It's actually better than that. We're actually getting back to break even much quicker than what we would do if we were simply just doing level stakes. So if you have a look at our Dutching calculator, you can see that we've entered £100 stake in here, and we've entered the odds for 4 runners. This is just a hypothetical race. Now you can see that we're getting £25.76 return on each runner. Now because we've put £100 stake down, you could equate this to being 100%. So this would actually be a 25.76% return on each horse, assuming that one of these horses is going to win. When you do your 4th horse, if you decide to use it, we always advise to make this break even. So I'll just put that down to 0 for the Dutch profit, and then we can see how that changes. There we go. So we're now covering the same 4 runners, but now we're getting 29.78% return, which qualifies for actually both of our minimum return on investment that we're looking for. So as long as we keep sticking to that and we're not going below the 25% return, then we're going to make money when you couple it with the fact that we have a 78.57%, I think it was, strike rate, and the positive profit factor. So if you go back to the results spreadsheet, I've done a little graph up here, and you've seen this from a previous video. This is the profit curve for the 5% of the bank. Now there's a lot of horse racing systems that you'll see floating about on the internet, and what a lot of people do is there's services out there that you can join up to, and you can do back testing on data in order to design a system, and they'll just keep tinkering about with certain rules, and when they find something that works, they'll present that as a system and say, well, hey, look at this system, isn't it fantastic? When really all as it is a set of rules that will make money on that particular set of data. But what you'll find is when you actually try and apply that in the real world, it just simply doesn't work. Now the difference with our system is these are actual real world results. This isn't back tested data. This is people have been members of this service since the beginning, and these are the exact results that they've been experiencing in terms of wins and losers. So as you're on your 10-day trial, if you're trying to determine whether this service is for you, this is a very good metric to base your decision on. Now, starting with a £2,000 bank, about little over 5 months in, we've made a profit of, at the moment, it's a little over 4,000, so it's a 200% return at the moment. And at the end of the year, I don't know what that's going to be, but I'd imagine it'd be something like 300 to 400% in the year. Now, if you look at most professional, like stock market traders, for instance, they would be absolutely overjoyed if they got 100% return on investment over the year. So to achieve 300 or 400%, you'd be extremely hard pressed to find something to actually generate that level of return over a year. Now, one of the things that we always say is don't be too concerned about individual bets. I mean, there's a lot of people that I call system drifters, and they'll follow a system, and then whenever they experience a few losers, they'll say, oh, this system's no good, and they'll bin it and drift on to another one, and then they'll just keep going round and round and round in a loop, and they'll never get anywhere. What you need to do is you need to get out of that mindset, and once you've determined that you have a system that works in the long term over a series of bets, then you basically need to stick with it. What this system actually offers you is probability is very much on your side, and I would actually encourage you to use the same analysis techniques that I showed in the beginning of this video on other systems, other results that you can see, and just see how they stack up in comparison to this service, and if it helps you make a decision as to whether you actually stick with us after the 10-day free trial. So thanks for watching this video today, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, thank you, bye bye.